I know.
Mimi is here! Finally, she sneaked up on me, behind me during the tour. And we're still on the tour right now. And she got me cake! OMG! Cake! Oh, I'm gonna be fat Danny by the end of this.
It's okay, one day.
You spoil me too much.
Cheat day.
On your birthday, calories doesn't count.
Exactly.
You will.
Good look at that building there. So that building is a school called George Heriot School, which was founded in 1628 by George Heriot to look after Edinburgh's poor featherless parents. That means orphans in Scottish. Ironically, today it is one of the most expensive private schools in the country, which I like because irony is funny. So J.K. Rowling's children actually went to school here. So unsurprisingly, it has helped inspire Hogwarts. Now, you've seen the way it looks from the outside. It's got the dark stone, it's got the turrets, the towers, the castle kind of feel. And the same goes for the inside, where there are stone spiral staircases and big portraits hanging on the walls. So J.K. Rowling has definitely borrowed how Hogwarts looks from this school, but that is not the only similarity. There is also, within this school, 4 houses, with the colours red, yellow, green and blue, just like the 4 Hogwarts houses that the children get sorted into when they join. And they even fight for the house cup. However, here, they get sorted electronically rather than by sorting hat, which is way less fun, probably more realistic. But seeing as we're here, I feel it is only fitting that we perform our own sorting ceremony right here, right now. So, because we're a kind of small group, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a full group sorting. I'm going to say 4 names. I'm going to repeat the names twice slowly. You all pick one of them, and then I will tell you to stand in an according place, depending on which name you picked, and then I will sort you into your houses. So, everybody listen carefully. Here are the 4. Lauriston, Castle, Greyfriars, and Rayburn. Lauriston, Castle, Greyfriars, and Rayburn. Lauriston stand here, Castle here, Greyfriars here, Rayburn here. Lauriston here, Castle here, Greyfriars here, Rayburn here.
They're going to Castle.
Okay, so this is the Lauriston group? Yeah? Castle, Greyfriars, and Rayburn. Okay, I can confirm. Lauriston is the greenhouse, so it is Slytherin. Castle is the blue house, so it's Ravenclaw. Greyfriars is the yellow house, so it's Hufflepuff. And Rayburn is the red house, so it is Gryffindor. So how did everybody do? Did everybody get the house we want? I don't think so. Okay, well the good news is, just like how the sorting hat took Harry's consideration into account, he can also take your consideration into account. So at this point, I would invite you all to go and stand in the house you actually are in. Slytherin's here, Ravenclaw's here, Hufflepuff's here, Gryffindor's here.
Gryffindor. I mean Gryffindor.
So we've got some Slytherins over here, so you're sorted right. The club will continue. Okay, gather back in again. So we know that this school helped to inspire Hogwarts because one of the earliest sketches that J.K. Rowling did of what she imagined Hogwarts to look like looks exactly like this school. And in that sketch, her vision of where the house common rooms are placed are in a corner on each, on a tower on each corner of the building, which is where the house common rooms are here. J.K. Rowling's children herself were both placed in Gryffindor, the Rayburn, the red house, so Gryffindor. Feel like she was probably happy about that. And that sketch is now actually up on Pottermore. So if any of you have a Pottermore account, once you go home, you can look at that sketch and compare it to the building now you've seen it in real life, to that sketch she has drawn. However, there is also another building in Edinburgh, which has also helped inspire Hogwarts. Can anybody tell me which building that one is? Very good, 10 points to Ravenclaw. Edinburgh Castle. It's right, it's that big thing sticking up on a rock out of the city. Now, if you merge how the castle looks with this school in your head, you get a pretty good idea of where Hogwarts has come from. And there is even an extra added bonus feature to the castle over the month of August, which is that during July, they've already built this stand outside for the Edinburgh Tattoo, which takes place every month over the 9th of August. This is a display of bagpipes and kilts and drums and fireworks, and anyone who's a Harry Potter fan will have noticed that this stand looks very much like the outside of the Quidditch Stadium. So if you get a chance to check that out, I would definitely recommend it. Now, we are going to talk a little bit more about the castle a little bit later on in the tour also. But for now, we are going to head on down to the grave of the most famous evil wizard of all time. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we made it too watery.
Yeah. And I'm like, add more eggs, add more flour.
We added too
It's
much.
like-
We had no clue what was in. It was our second time making a birthday cake, and we added too much water.
Buy a Victoria sponge and then ice it.
No, cheese. What is it? Vegetarian or vegan?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Vegan.
Buy a vegan
she-
cake. They exist.
We added what to it? What fruit?
Orange, I remember.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like chocolate orange.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I like to start this stop with a joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
You know. Ah. So here we are at the grave of Thomas Riddle, Jr. and Sr. And this is the grave that inspired the name of Tom Riddle in the Harry Potter books, also known as Lord Voldemort. Yes, I said it out loud. So if you remember, in the graveyard in Little Hangleton, Tom Riddle Jr. and Sr. are buried together in the same grave, and the same thing can be found here. So J.K. Rowling was obviously going on a stroll through this graveyard, found this grave, and got a whole load of inspiration for the character and his entire family history through this one thing that we can see in front of us, which is pretty darn cool in my opinion. So, who are these Riddles? Well, they were members of the nobility of the gentry in Edinburgh. They had a lot of money, didn't have anything to do with magic, and I have some people saying to me, don't you feel bad for these guys? Because they were just a couple of regular dudes, and now they're known as having the legacy of being the most famous evil wizard of all time. But I kind of feel like, as far as legacies go, that's a pretty cool one to have, and there is no way that without that, they would have earned the title of most visited grave in Europe, perhaps even in the world. So, not too bad going for the Riddles there. Now, some of you may have noticed that Riddle is spelled differently here from how it is in the Harry Potter books. Can anybody guess as to why that might be?
Because it needs to spell Voldemort.
Very good. 10 points to who said that one?
The Voldemort part.
So 10 points to
Slytherin.
Slytherin, and also 10 points to Hufflepuff. Both of those the exact right answers. So the first thing is, if you picture the scene at the end of the Chamber of Secrets where the young Tom Riddle writes Tom Marvolo Riddle with his wand, flishes it around, and it becomes I am Lord Voldemort. And this anagram is a really integral part of Voldemort's character, because it proves how when he's human he has one name, by the time he's done with all of the Horcruxes, he's not human anymore, he has a completely different, rearranged name and identity. And this anagram is actually so important that whatever language you read the Harry Potter books in, and there are 72 of them in which to do so, I might add, the anagram still always works. This actually means that if you read the books in French, the young Tom Riddle's middle name works out to be Elvis, which I think is hilarious and I love they've gone for. The other reason is, as you rightly said, a riddle in English is something enigmatic, difficult to understand, hard to crack, a puzzle, all of these things which we know Lord Voldemort to be. So from a linguistic perspective, it adds some more depth to have the double meaning of the character name there. And J.K. Rowling does loads of cool language tricks like this all the way through the books, which is why they are so fun to read. So this grave was first discovered about 10 years ago now by the Potterheads. And when it was first discovered, there was a huge influx of fans who came, and they left flowers, and they left presents on the floor, and people left notes on the floor of things saying like, thank you Tom for helping us believe in magic, and like, all hail the Dark Lord. But the council, because they're really boring, said that it was littering, so they took it all away. They did not, however, squash all the fun. Because if you come here to this exact spot, on October the 31st, on Halloween, at midnight, you will find a bunch of people dressed in capes like this, with wands like this, having duels in front of the grave of the most famous evil wizard of all time to honour his legacy, which is quite a sight to behold and proves that Harry Potter fans are crazy.